Hello and welcome to the third episode of Jake and Grandma's cooking show. And today we're making macaroni and cheese.
Yummy. Okay, so what?
I've tried this one before, so but at the end I'm still gonna sample it to show you how I like it.
Yes, you're our sampler with everything.
Yeah, I've tried it before, but I'm still gonna sample it to show you fans that are watching this video how I like it.
Okay, so I take a saucepan, usually a medium saucepan, and I put cold water in, and then sometimes what I like to do, which you don't have to, but everybody does their own thing, is I put one little squirt or spray of my Pam spray in the water so that the macaronis don't stick together. So I just spray a little bit. That's not really part of the recipe, but that's up to each person's personal preference. Okay, and then I put my gas on high till it starts to boil. And then I have to alternate today. Sometimes you can alternate your recipe if you don't have the stuff that you fully usually use, but you still want to make it. So what I'm doing is I have my elbow macaroni, but I only have a half a box.
Sounds like fireworks are going off.
So because I only have a half a box and I wanted to make a little bit more than a half, I do have a little bit of noodles left over from when I made the chicken noodle recipe in episode 1.
In the first episode.
Correct.
2 days ago.
Right. So I think what I'll do is I'll add the macaroni and the noodles together. They're still all pasta. Like the category of pasta would be lasagna, spaghetti, macaronis, penne, rigatonis, anything pasta made that you make stuff with. So I'm going to improvise today and use both different kinds of macaronis. And then what I like to use is yellow American cheese. Now our dog Abby, she loves yellow American cheese.
Abby!
She knows that yellow American cheese is her favorite. Whoop! So I'll give her one more small bite of yellow American cheese. Well, maybe 2. Okay, that's it. Go back and lay down.
She's gonna throw up after this.
Hopefully not. So I use yellow American cheese in mine. You can use whatever kind of cheese you really like, actually. And then I also get, I like the mild cheddar cheese. Again, you can use whatever cheese you like. Or some people like to use like several different kinds of cheese.
Are you gonna drop another thing today?
I'm hoping not.
I'm
We'll
hoping
see.
so.
You know me, they'll start calling me Droppy Granny or something. Okay, so then I also add like maybe, I don't really measure it.
You're not getting anything else, Abby. Go
No
lay
more
down.
food, Abby. Not till
Go
lunchtime.
lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down.
All done, Ab. No more.
Go lay down.
Bye.
Go lay down.
Then I take a
Go
regular
down.
tablespoon. And then I add my butter to
She just
it after
won't lay down.
it's done cooking. And that gets all melted really good. And then that's when I start and add my cheese. Both kinds of cheese. My grated Parmesan and my garlic powder. And I also add a little bit of milk. I don't like it too soupy. And once that all gets put in together, then I like to just get it all creamy. And what I actually used to do is I put it in a small pan and I would bake it in the oven for a little while. But I found out that that made it maybe a little bit too crunchy or hard for my family. So I decided that after I put all my ingredients in the pan and I make it, that's done because it's already all cooked. And that's how we eat the macaroni and cheese.
Thank you for laying down, Abby.
So I'm going to go ahead and
She's still watching. She really wants our meal.
oh, she does. She's hungry, I think. So
We already gave you three bites of yellow American cheese. We don't need more.
She's always hungry for something around here, that's for sure. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get ready to add my noodles and my macaronis. I hope that I'm not sorry if I add this. I'm not sure that I should do that. That's why I'm second guessing myself.
Well, macaroni and cheese is made out of noodles.
I really don't think it would hurt to add this because then it's going to make enough for my family. I don't like to make too much because then if we have too much left over and nobody eats it, then I pretty much just throw it away, and I don't like to throw food away. So I believe that should be enough. I'm not going to add all the noodles. I'm just going to add that much. So I think I'll save this little bit for later. And I can use this another day for something. Okay, so that's done. And my elbow macaroni is done. Put the rest of these away in my pantry. And then we have to wait for that to boil. And then when it boils, and I test it and make sure that the macaroni and that the noodles are soft, then I take my colander. This is my colander. I think I need a new one. Maybe Santa Claus will get me one for Christmas. Then I take my colander and I dump my noodles in the sink and get all the water out of it. This is the part that you have to wait for because it's time consuming for that to boil.
Sounds like a firework's about to go off.
Well, I think we have the flame on high and we have a ceiling fan going because it's pretty hot today. So we'll get
Still
this.
feels really hot.
Yeah, I know. Well, we actually had the oven on just a little bit ago because I made another small pan of lasagna.
You really like making lasagna.
Well, you really like eating lasagna. So I think after it was done, I wanted to get it in and out of the oven early in the morning before the heat got too bad in the afternoon. And then I was able to cut it in small squares, and I actually put some in the freezer so that I have it all ready for you for another day. I do hope you're enjoying these cooking shows that we're doing. I know this is taking a little while to boil. I don't want to mess it up by not getting it boiled correctly. So, like I said, you can use whatever cheese or whatever your own ingredients is to your own taste. I myself like the taste of garlic. Now, Pappy doesn't really like the taste of garlic that much. He'll eat some lasagna or some macaroni and cheese, but if it's too garlicky, he doesn't really like that. Also, we make today with the macaroni and cheese, we're going to buy 2 rotisserie chickens at our nearest grocery store instead of making chickens today. And we're going to have broccoli with that. So I do have my broccoli already cut. I'll show you. I wanted to prepare that ahead of time. So I actually already have my broccoli cut, and it's setting in cold water. That way that part of that's already done.
I want those refrigerator to be the whole way open for the whole time we do this episode because I'm really hot.
Yes, and here is the water. It's not boiling as fast as I would like it to, but sometimes I think it depends on how big your pasta is as to how much time it takes to boil. And I think you normally don't care too much for this kind of macaroni and cheese. You actually like some that's more store-bought. And then we make it out of the cup that it comes in. Is that correct?
So you said I don't really love it. I'm going to show you how much I don't like it whenever we sample it.
Okay. You might decide you like it a little bit. I'm not really sure. Let's see if that's starting to boil yet. It looks like it's starting to. I can see some steam coming off of that. So it doesn't take too awful much to get it to be really hot. Some people like to make a lot of this at one time, and then they can actually refrigerate it into smaller portions and put it in their freezer, and then they can get it out and let it thaw and maybe add a little bit more cheese to it and heat it up for their meals. Sometimes you kind of like to have whatever less prepping that you have to do as possible when you want to spend time with your family. Okay, so I think I'm going to test one of my macaronis to see if it it's starting to get soft yet. Or my noodles, I don't think. I can tell that they're not very puffy yet, so I'm sure it's not, but I always take a little bit out on a plate and I get that cooling, and then I will test it. Now that's really coming to a boil. You could probably see lots of steam coming off that now. Yes, I can feel that the macaroni isn't too soft yet, but it shouldn't take too much longer now. So, I think that today we might decide to be the last day of cooking this week. Tomorrow we might take a break and go out to eat somewhere. That way we don't have to cook every day of the week.
Yeah, we might be taking a break of cooking show.
Right. We could take a break and then we can pick it up another day.
I never knew mac and cheese took this long to cook.
Well, it's because the noodles have to be soft enough. And usually macaroni does take a while to cook. So you can't really hurry the macaronis up, or else you're going to end up having crunchy macaroni and cheese. And I really don't think that would taste too good. I often thought maybe one day when I make this again.
Stop stirring that for a second. I need to get a chair out here so I'm not bored.
That you may actually like. You like Colby Jack cheese, is that correct?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking that one day I may decide to buy some Colby Jack and try that in there. And actually that may be something that would make you think this tastes better. Although I think you do like yellow American cheese. And I think some people, if you want, and you like Swiss cheese, you could always put that in there.
You can put whatever cheese you want in there.
Right.
If it didn't expire yet.
Well, of course, we always have to make sure we check expiration dates on everything.
Expiration dates, expiration dates aren't that real, because one time it was July 5th, 2025, and we checked the milk and it said expiration date on July 8th, and it was already expired. Expiration dates aren't real.
Oh, I think they're real. I think it just depends on...
Like, you can eat expired hot sauce for a year.
Oh, well, hot sauce is usually good for a long time out. But, like...
Even though if it says it's expired, it's not for 1 year.
But like this milk says there the expiration date on it.
What does it say?
And I think that if I did not have any more milk and I needed some, and it was only 1 day after the expiration date, that I would probably use it. But yes, I pretty much go by the expiration dates on everything.
But they're not that real.
Oh, it depends on the person. I believe they're real. That's why they put them on the product. Okay,
Well, the person's real, just the expiration date's not true.
Okay, well, it's all in what you believe, I think. But I'm getting ready to soon drain my noodles. And then we're ready to put the rest of the ingredients in. And we'll have that pretty much all ready for our supper. And we have the broccoli already prepped. Now all we have to do is send Pappy to the store to get us 2 chickens. And that'll be our supper for the day.
That smells pretty good.
Oh, you like the smell of cooked pasta?
I think I might like this actually.
Alright. Okay, so we have to be very careful when we're draining this because this is really hot water here. So I always use hot pads. You have to stay safe when you're cooking. So I always use the hot pads, and then I'm going to drain it in my colander. So I'm going to turn off my gas, and then I'm going to take my handle with the hot pad, and I'm going to drain my noodles in my colander. And then I like to take some cold water and run it on my macaroni just to get that to stop cooking some. So it cools that hot heat down. And then I take my spoon and kind of stir my macaronis to get all the water out. And then I return my noodles back to my pan. Just like so. And I'll show you what the cooked pasta looks like there. Then I put it back on the stove and I turn my gas on low because I don't want to scorch my food. And then I take my butter and I put about this much butter in. And I get that all buttery. And then I'm going to use my garlic powder next. And this is where I just kind of shake. I kind of know the amount that I shake of the amount that my family likes. And the same with this Parmesan cheese. And I keep a little bit of Parmesan left because I like to shake it on top. And then I take my yellow American cheese and I just start and break little pieces in there. And then after I put some yellow American cheese in, I take my mild cheddar cheese, and I just had 1/4 of a bag left from the last time, and I add that. And then I want to stir it around until it starts to look like it's really cheesy. So I think I need to add some more cheese. And I need to add another slice of yellow American. And then I have to add just a little pour or 2 of milk. Okay. So we're going to put that back in the refrigerator. And now all we have to do is keep stirring while the low heat's on, not to scorch it. And once I get it to where it looks creamy enough, then that's pretty much it. I'm done. So I feel like this does not look like it's creamy enough for my family. So I'm gonna have to add a little bit more. I think I will add one more slice. I'm going to break up of yellow American cheese, and maybe another little handful of my shredded cheddar. I always like to have some of that left because I like to add that to the top when we go to sit down to eat. Okay, and I think that may have been exactly the right amount of cheese. And I think it would be nice and creamy. And we're about ready for the sampler, which is you,
To sample it.
to sample it. So, I'm gonna see what I have to do here. I want to make sure this looks like it's creamy enough. I think it is. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to put my ingredients away. Oops! There I go again.
You did that on purpose.
I don't know. Okay, now we're going to have a sampler of this. And you're going to be our sampler, like you are with everything. Is that correct?
You just dropped the macaroni.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure Abby loved that one. Okay, so
Pretty hard to get it on that plate.
I have the sampler. Here's the finished product. I hope you think it looks pretty good, or that it looks nice and creamy, but now we're going to see how it tastes. So, we're going to go in and see.
Okay, let's see how it tastes. Turn the light on.
How this macaroni tastes with the sampler that you are.
Let's
And he's
see.
gonna have to make sure that you blow it
Oh, it
off.
smells bad now.
Oh, you think it smells bad? I hope it doesn't. I think I like it, actually. It might be too hot, but you just have to blow it a little bit. Okay, so it's going to take him a couple bites before he makes his final determination. I think it must be a little bit better than he thought. It's already taken him about 4 or 5 bites. So to me, that seems like... What do you think of that?
Ew.
Oh, okay. I guess that shows you he's not a fan of my macaroni and cheese. So anyway, we thank you for watching today's episode. And you can send us your comments on what you think. And maybe you can try your own macaroni and cheese using your own ingredients or whatever you like. So thanks for watching.
Maybe you could... What was I going to say? Well, maybe you could show us how you sample it. What else was I going to say? Maybe Abby... No.
And
I wasn't going to say that. Okay, let's just end this. I don't know what I was going to say.